Hello and welcome to this short demo about Ludwig's new VW Beetle. So what is this about? Well, some of you might know this famous car from the 50s or 60s, but you see it's getting a bit rusty and is maybe not the latest model anymore. So our engineers thought, hey, maybe we need something new, something better. And they decided, hey, to design a new car and to create a new prototype. Yeah? And for this new prototype, they need new parts that do not exist. And therefore, they requested them from their vendors. Yeah? And I listed you just a couple of vendors that are very famous here, at least in Germany, for providing automotive spare parts. Yeah? And they basically should provide us with a quote saying, hey, this part costs this and that and is available on this day. So what we did was basically we reached out to our suppliers and requested a quote, and then I will start my demo once the supplier sent us this quote by email. Once the quote arrives, I use Power Automate and the AI builder to extract the information in SharePoint Premium. Then I need an approval process and a process that allows the engineers and the purchasing manager to check the quotes. Yeah? And for that I use a Power App. Yeah? And in this Power App there is a Copilot Studio bot that allows them to chat with the documents that arrive, the quotes, and I also have an approval included. Once everything is okay and things are approved, then I'm also interested whether this process is efficient, or whether we can improve something. And for that purpose I use process mining. And you know, process mining is linked and incorporated with Power BI. So I have a Power BI dashboard in my process mining that helps me to analyze and investigate the data. And if I want, I can do even more. I can adjust this Power BI dashboard and use the Copilot there to get even better and more insights, set alerts and so on. And that's something I want to show you next in my demo system. So let's switch and have a look. Alright, I'm here in my demo system and I'm playing the role of a vendor. And this vendor sends his quote number 9 to the central email box. I already prepared that, so I can just send the document out and then I can navigate to my central mailbox. So that's the central mailbox where the email should arrive in around a couple of seconds. You can see this already. There is an email coming with the new quote. And then what happens is in the background we have a couple of flows, Power Automate flows, that are helping me to process this transaction. So the first one that will start is the flow that extracts the attachment, this quote, and puts it on SharePoint. So here's my SharePoint, and after a while you can see that here is the new quote. And what you also see is the other columns here, they are still empty. And how will they be filled? Well, in SharePoint Premium, that's what we see here, there is a model. I can click on that, and the model that I used is this one here. To give you some idea how it works, that's the training files that are uploaded, and here on the right hand side you see the information that I want to extract from this quote. Because I do not want to mess around with my published model, I give you an idea how this works and how easy this is. So I created another model where I used the standard invoice processing model, and I added a couple of demo invoices. And now I come to the part where I need to extract something. And you can see what is extracted automatically without doing anything. And even if you make a mistake, so like me, where I scanned an invoice wrong, so you will see this, here I flipped it, but still you can see that it identifies the information that is there, which is great. So that's what is happening in the background. And after a while, these columns will automatically be filled with the information from within this document. Okay, what is the next step? Well, the next step would be that our designers or engineers have a look at the quote, and that the purchasing manager also makes a decision. And for that, I have a Power App. Why a Power App? Well, because I do not like if the people work on SharePoint. I want to have a more easier and more comfortable way. Therefore, I designed this one here. And what this app is doing is basically it extracts the data that have been processed from SharePoint. So here I have, for example, a quote from Valeo. And after a while, I will see the others. And what I can do is I can here open the document on SharePoint. I can directly reject things. I can do a first level of approval. But before that, I might need to have some information of this quote, of course. And what I can do is I can include a custom Copilot from Copilot Studio. So here's my custom Copilot. And now let's say I need an information from a quote. Let's type it these things a bit. Quote. And now it will ask me the vendor. So it's Valeo. And now I can ask my question. So for example, is express transport included in the quote? And what will happen is now the custom Copilot will use a plugin, look inside of the document and tries to find this information. And it says, yes, express transport is included. So I can be sure that's covered. Now I can even ask other questions. For example, what is the latest Volkswagen model? For example, if I want to make sure that there is no Ludwig's Beetle already in process. So it says, oh, it's something else. I can click on the link, open it in a new website, and then check it out, whether this is something similar to what I try to design. So with this information, I'm now ready and to approve this first level approval step. So me as an engineer, I'm finished here. So Valeo is finished. Now we go and play the role of the purchasing manager. You see, he sees here the Valeo quote. And of course, he can also chat with the document. He can open SharePoint and do all of the other things. But let's say we are just happy and I'm doing the second level approval. So what will happen is this Valeo quote will be moved here in the approved quotes. And at the same time, I have a flow running in the background that is actually creating a vendor for me. So here is my IT or ERP system where this new vendor should be created. So let's see if something happened. Not yet. Now you see today is 7th of May. That's the time here. And this vendor was automatically created because I did the second level of approval. Now, before we jump into details, let's have a quick look into our Copilot, the one that I created, and how we got the information. So here is my Copilot, and the information about Volkswagen and the latest model, this was extracted by using here this generative AI, where you can basically ask any question against these public websites. And the question about the document, this was extracted by using this action or plugin. Okay, now we are finished with the approval, and now the question is this process efficient? And to analyze that, you can have a look at Power Automate Process Mining. How to do that? Well, you just take one of your flows and then you click this button. And what will happen is a process mining dashboard will be created for you. This takes a while, a couple of minutes. Therefore, I already prepared that. So this is a sample process from my side. Where you see the dashboard, it's interactive. So you can click on that and then the other things change. And what is also interesting is on the right hand side, you have a Copilot. So if you have no experience with process mining, you can ask something like, hey, identify my bottleneck, address my bottleneck. And then you see the integration back into Power Automate flows. Because if I'm here, it suggests me to create a different flow Why? Maybe because mine is not the best one. So I get here a suggestion to improve this process. Yeah. And now also Copilot helps me to create this flow. And this one looks probably better. Yeah. I start here when an item is created and I'm doing the approval right in front. Yeah. And then I'm moving files and deleting files or do whatever. Yeah. So let's say that is good for me. I have the credentials to approve all these things and do these things, execute these actions. And now you will see that I get a flow created out of the box. Of course, I need to validate and add the parameters of my user, which item is created on which SharePoint site and so on. But you see 80 or 90% of the work is already done. Now, the other thing that you can do here, if we go back to process mining, is you can link this process mining workspace with Power BI. That's simply here, and once you do that and click on the button, you end up in Power BI, where you have a Copilot that can help you designing the report, or you can adjust things yourself, just as I did it here. So if you want to add additional tiles, if you want to do something else, then this is the place to go. And just as an example, if I click here on this tile, then there's a button here that allows me to create alerts, which I showed you in one of my posts that I shared on my blog. I will share this later on. But you can do many things, create the dashboards in the way you like, and then do the analysis for your management and your people working in the field. Okay, so that's it, what I wanted to share with you here. Now let's go back to my PowerPoint to see what is the outcome of our process. Okay, after this demo, you might be interested how my new VW Beetle looks like. And well, that's something I generated with artificial intelligence. You see, it's a more modern Beetle, ready for the racetrack in a modern city. Okay, that's it, what I want to share with you. Thanks for watching and listening. And if you have questions, reach out to me through my email, blog, or on YouTube. Thanks again.